rather than, statements of fact. Even the title of the article, LSD does not help ADHD. It's not even really what the study is about. So.
Well, I appreciate you finding the study and helping us just interpret it.
I'm trying to understand stuff that's way above my head. But yeah, we get this a lot, especially with articles about psychedelics. The one last week about the woman in Australia, also, it's like the article comes with all of these statements that don't really ask questions. Or have, like, what is it? So nonviolent communication is a concept that I like to reference when reading stuff like this, because we have statements that are willing to understand more, and we have statements that are, a blanket that don't allow for learning, right? And so when we're communicating, we're writing an article to the public. It's better if, especially when we're in the development of a scientific study, to pose the questions and the facts or the statements of like, oh, we think that maybe this has an effect on this, rather than no one with ADHD will benefit from LSD, period. I think all news articles could benefit from a little bit of query.
Wouldn't that be great if articles are written from an NVC paradigm overall?
Right.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? I've only studied it a little and should probably go back and take more classes, but I found that the reframe that it provides in terms of not making assumptions and not attacking other people and not making other people wrong is really helpful.
I would, however, agree experientially that LSD does not help my ADHD. It might help trigger a hyperfocus, or it might do the opposite. Granted, it's been 30 years since I've taken LSD, and maybe I should revisit that and revisit it in a microdose capacity. But like in my memory, it's a little chaotic.
Yeah, if you haven't tried it, my actual microdosing. I mean, I hate to say it, but micrograms matter. Each microgram of LSD has, let's say it together, 1.54 quadrillion molecules of LSD in it. Having 15 or 20 as opposed to topping out at something like 12 or maybe less for most people, not to mention all the Reddit studies where the Reddit reports where people are taking an order of magnitude less. They're taking 1 microgram or even less and still having effects. I think that, this notion that more is always better is so deeply ingrained in our capitalistic and scientific architecture that it's hard for people to think otherwise.
Sorry, I'm just reading this article. Results. 2 of the 4 participants dropped out due to COVID restrictions, and 1 participant because of non-adherence to the protocol. 3 participants were excluded, all from analysis because of missing data. So, really, there's no validity to,
How many participants were there in total?
I think there were 8. It was very, very small.
Geez, and yet that headline will get all the publicity.
Right, and so people like Robert Kennedy will take that headline and move forward with that. I hate to make that blanket judgment, but I've known this person to move forward with information that's incomplete and clickbaity. And we have a massive endemic in our society right now where people just read headlines, and people read headlines from unvetted